Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday night. I know. Um, had a busy day. Have to go to California on a medical issue. So that took up my time. Let's see here. I'm going to put these in. Just had to go to the garage to get something. Let's talk about the daily stats. I have some things to share with you, let you know that they'll be in the group for your use when hopefully you're telling people what's going on in the market because everybody wants to know. So anyway, we have 51 days of inventory, and that's 3,720 single-family homes, which is 26% of the market. And of those 3,726, we've got 968 single-family homes that are active in the medium price range of 425,000 and under. So I guess the good news is we listed 101 homes yesterday. We closed 85, and we're going down. We're 51, 52 days of inventory. So that's based on March 98 per day. This month so far, we're doing about 75 a day. We'll see what happens with that. Moving on here quickly to the $1 million stats. We're at 3.17 daily sales of million plus homes. That's 342 for the year to date. And there are 760 that are available. And that number just increased a little bit. So we shall see. It seems like the $1 million homeowners are putting their houses on the market. Let's talk a little bit about some things that happened. Let's see, what do we got here? Mortgages, the demand for mortgages has dropped 10% because the interest rates jumped. And the interest rates are going up and down and all over the place. And it's affecting consumer confidence. It's really affecting the consumer confidence. So last week, the average contract interest rate for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with conforming loan balances, which is $726,200 or less, increased to 6.43%. That's the interest rate from 6.3 the previous week. And applications to refinance a home. Hi, Cody. How are you? Thank you for joining me tonight. Oh, thank you so much. So anyway, I love it that Cody was joining us. Anyway, applications to refinance a home loan decreased 6% from the previous week and were 56% lower than the same week 1 year ago. You know what that tells me? Y'all have your work cut out for you here because people are not buying homes like they were a year ago. So, of course, you know that, right? We're doing 75 a day, and last year we were doing 140 a day. So this is really affecting the market. It really is affecting it drastically. So nationwide, the low-income owners, you're well. Good, Cody. Thank you so much. Thank you. The low-income owners were able to build 98,900 in wealth in the last decade from home price appreciation only. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about this because, we need to tell the home buyers that, okay, the market's jumping up and down, but at the end of the day, the market is going to adjust and they can refinance. And right now, because the market is slower, the prices are lower. So you have to be able to articulate that to the home buyers and so that they buy. And when you think about it, I mean, the low-income owners were able to build 98,900 in wealth in the last decade from home price appreciation only. Middle income buyers were able to accumulate 122,000 in wealth as their homes appreciated by 68% for the decade. Upper income households have built 150,000 in wealth since 2012. So, and then now this is from NAR, and NAR is going and doing a lot of breakdown by ethnic groups. So they're saying, although Black homeowners experience the the smallest wealth gains among any other racial ethnic group, these owners were able to accumulate over 115,000 in wealth in the last decade. So along with wealth gains, these owners were able to accumulate through price appreciation. Their debt, let's see here if I can put this up here a little bit so we can see it. Their debt has already dropped by 21%. So while many homeowners were able to refinance and secure a rate lower than 4% during 2021, they may have paid off an even larger amount of their mortgage. So all of that has really done well for everybody, right? It really has. So UA, there's no two ways about it. The market is going to be tough this year. There's no two ways about it, because with what the feds are doing and the rates going up and down, the consumer confidence is woe down, and like they say, in the toilet. So you have to be able to articulate what's going on here in the market. Now, I will tell you that if you have a calendar and you have any free time on your calendar, I'm an old-fashioned, so I like to do things on the computer and print them out. And then as things change, I can handwrite the stuff on there. And I can see, I have a better perspective. For me, it's a better perspective for me to do this. So I like it. I like doing it this way. Everybody's different. Everybody's different, right? So my point is, if you have spaces on here and there's nothing there, you need to get on the phone. You need to start contacting people, or you need to go sit in open house, or you need to go knock doors. For heaven's sakes, you have to do something. I mean, seriously, you have to do something. You can't just think that the blank calendar is going to bring you any kind of income. This is a contact sport more than any other sales industry. You have got to talk to people, and I say more than any other sales people industry, because we have to. Well, okay. Bottom line is, we're selling them the biggest investment that most people were ever going to make in their life, right? So if you can't articulate your value to them, and if you're not articulating your value to them because you got all these blank spaces on your calendar and you're not filling it up with doing things, you're going to have a very tough year. It's going to be very tough for you. That's it. I mean, I don't know how else to communicate that. So let's look at something else here. Speaking of making phone calls and pop-bys or whatever you can do, if you're knocking doors, if you're holding open houses, there's handouts. This handout is only 6 pages. And it says that properties aren't selling as quickly as they did a year ago, making pre-listing prep all more important. And this is another report from NAR. Home buyers, many of whom are stretching their budgets to the max, are clamoring for move-in ready properties that don't require extra repair expenses. So that means that the buyers are looking for homes that are, maybe new toilets, maybe new carpet, maybe new paint, things that they don't have to do. And you have to understand that most of the sellers have equity, because I just showed you all the wealth that's been built up over the last decade. So you know that these sellers do have equity, so they can take some time to, do some things to the home. And home staging can boost the move-in ready appeal and sway buyers. And even if the home isn't in pristine condition, it helps if they stage these homes, because buyers want to envision themselves within a new home, and home staging is a way to showcase the property in its best light. And NAR's chief economist and vice president of research has spent a lot of time interviewing and surveying the home buyers, so that they have data to like this to show the home seller. And here's 3 things that you need to know. Kitchens. Let me go here. Kitchens, master bedrooms, or primary bedrooms, and family rooms. The living room, the primary bedroom, and the kitchen are the most important rooms to stage. So 55% of all agents say buyers expect homes to emulate properties they see on TV shows. Wow. What about that, everybody? 81% of buyers agents say staging a home makes it easier for clients to visualize themselves living in a property. I mean, that makes just sense. It's just common sense. 20% of buyers and sellers agents say staging increases the dollar value of offers by 1 to 5%. Okay, so if it's a $400,000 home, 5% is $20,000. $20,000 is they're going to put in their pocket because they spent a few, maybe a couple thousand doing things compared to similar homes that aren't staged. So 48% of sellers agents say staging decreases a property's time on the market. And that's an important, very important stat. NAR goes on to show you the importance of rooms staged for buyers. So here's a living room. Like we said, the living room, the primary bedroom, and the kitchen. So the importance is 39% think that, it's 39% more important than some of the other rooms. And the primary bedroom has an importance rate percentage of 36%, kitchen 30%, then the dining room, then the outside space. Now I'm surprised about the outside space, but then, this is a survey of the United States. I know here it's very important because we like our outdoor kitchens or our grills. We like, our patios with the umbrellas, whatever we like, and because we can spend so much time outside here. And then, of course, you have the bathrooms. Now, I'm surprised at that as well. I would think the bathroom, I know for me, over the years, John and I have bought homes over the years that we would go on a listing appointment. And we think, and back then the homes were like 130,000, 6% of our commission. Let's throw that in as a down payment. And back then we were getting 6% commission. Let's throw our commission in and add some down payment money and buy this home and rent it out. And one of the things that, I always was concerned about was the bathroom. I don't know. I just was. And I'm talking in the early 1990s, the bathrooms here were very small, very small. Your knees would touch the doors if you sat down. But anyway, moving on. It's important. This just is a good chart to show people when you go on a listing or to have at your open house to give out, or when you knock on doors, to welcome the neighbors to your open house, you have something to hand to them. Here's a little staging book, just in the event that you're interested in listing your house. You'll find it very useful. Now, also what I did last week that NAR did was that staging book and that remodeling book. And you have 3 things to hand out to people. Very important, because what did I just say? You've got to be the knowledge broker. You've got to build trust. You've got to show people that you're at the top of your game, that you know what they need to sell, and you know what the buyers are looking for. Very important here. So let's see, let me move on to the next slide. Okay. And here's 10 to-dos before listing. Wow. Now, if you're sitting in an open house and you start walking the neighborhood and you start giving things like this out, just think about it. Who does this? Who does this? The people that are doing this are the people that are going to survive, because they're out there spreading the word. And now you have a reason to follow up with people. Oh, did you notice that in my brochure I gave you that there's 10 to-dos before listing your home? Just you might want to keep that, because it's evergreen, meaning that it'll survive over time. So you want to make sure that you do that. So home improvement items that real estate agents say they most recommend to their clients before listing a property. Declutter, 96%. Of course, you always want to go and take everything off the kitchen shelves, right? And off the walls, and clean everything up. If they, my dogs leave the toys everywhere, so I've got to pick them up and put them in the toy basket. Just like children, you've got to put their toys in the toy box. It has to, which makes it look spacious because it's not cluttered. Minor repairs is very important. Carpet cleaning, very important. you get used to the smell of your home. And I'm not saying that it's a bad smell, but it has probably something that you're comfortable with because maybe you cook all the time or maybe whatever. But other people come in and they can smell it. So that's why the potpourri pots and the candles and boiling water with oranges and spices were so popular because of that, because we get used to the smells in our home. And we don't even know that the house has an aroma, and it doesn't have to be bad. It just put the odors in the air that people are going to recognize, and like people used to bake cookies, right before, if they knew that there was an open house. Agents would bake cookies because it gives that house that, oh, welcome home feeling. These things are very important. And then, of course, depersonalize the home. That's probably the hardest thing because people want to live in their home, but our homes don't stay on the market that long, less than 2 months. So it's not really a big deal. And you have to figure out how you're going to articulate that to the home, the person that wants to sell their home. Painting, 58%, landscaping, 50%, grout. Yes, grout, 30%. Well, you want to have a clean grout, and it's not that hard to do. So very important. I love this 10 to-dos before listing. And this was from the National Association of Realtors. Melissa Dittman Tracy is her name. And she is really good at thinking of ways that are simple things that we can do. So she goes out there and does all these surveys so that we have these great materials. Yeah. And then let's see, what else do we have for you? I will be away. Let's see, we're leaving at 3:00 this morning. I'll be away till probably the weekend. So I wanted to get this material to you as quickly as I could so that, you might have an open house or you might be going on a listing appointment and you might find this useful. Okay, so moving on here. Median property taxes paid by Metro. This is just a chart for you that LendingTree put together. And they broke it out on a Metro level. And these are pockets across the country that have emerged with the lowest or highest property taxes. And we're showing you the lowest first. LendingTree ranked the 50 largest metro areas using data from the Census Bureau. So if you look here, Las Vegas is number 7. So Las Vegas is number 7 when it comes to the median property prices paid by Metro. I get it. I know.
I know you know.
Okay, I'm live, honey. Sorry, I'm doing a live show. So where homeowners pay the lowest, highest property taxes, real estate taxes have been on the rise over the last few years. Help home buyers avoid the sticker shock. And that helps them because the taxes are lower. And what the consumer wants to know is, what's my payment? At the end of the day, if we can be able to say, oh, here's a $450,000 home, your payment's going to be $2,600. That includes your HOA, your taxes, your insurance, all in one. They want to know what the payment is, not just the principal and the interest, but what's coming out of my pocket. And I've been a renter, and now I'm going to go buy a home, and I've got to take my savings, and what's my payment going to be? And at the same time, you tell them what the payment's going to be. You need to tell them that homeowners' net worth is 40 times that of a renter, and it will be worth it when they become part of the American dream, which is to have a home. Okay, so there's some slides here, a lot of information that you should read a couple times so that you can articulate it. This is we talked. Let's back up here, see what this one says. The states with the lowest effective tax rates, and then with the highest. And of course, I always like to challenge you to boost your Facebook posts and things like this out to those particular parts of the country. All right, what else do we have here? I have just some things. This is the Homeownership and Wealth NAR report reveals disparities in wealth gains. And I'm just going to I'm going to run through this. There's 13 pages, but it again talks how home ownership builds wealth. A mortgage is essentially a forced savings account where every monthly payment pays down a portion of the borrower's debt while building equity. Home values increase over time and price appreciation adds to the homeowner's wealth. These two things, I would put them in ChatGPT and have ChatGPT expound on them. Like, say this in a humorous way. Say this in, say these 20 words in 50 words. Expound on this. And you can keep, I was doing something with ChatGPT the other day. And so I said, okay, I need you to tell this same paragraph, but without, I forget whatever it was. And then they did that. So you can talk to it like it's a person. I think that people don't realize that you're talking to like a person. So you can say, oh, I like what you did. Now make it humorous, and it will. So there's so much you can do with it. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the news about it right now, believe me. So anyway, when you build on that second point, the median priced home, okay, has gained $190,000 in value over the past decade. My goodness. So they've been paying rent, right? They've been paying rent, and they have the net worth of like $20,000 or $10,000 or $6,000. I mean, they've been just throwing their money away instead of building wealth, which is what home ownership does. So things like this are so important for you to be able to share, whether, do Facebook Reels, do LinkedIn, talk, because there's professionals on LinkedIn. It's just not real estate agents that are on LinkedIn. There's a lot of professionals out there that are on LinkedIn. And Instagram. Instagram can give you a great following, and there's so many tips that we can share as time goes on here the next couple months, with little hacks for building your Instagram following, if that's what you want to do. What I know is that here's my personal opinion. Either do Facebook Reels and concentrate on that, or do Instagram. Instagram is a job in itself. It's got so much to do. So, ready. Okay, everybody. So here we go on with the show. I think NAR has 13 pages here, so it's a lot of good information, and I'm not going to take a lot of time tonight, but I would say that you should read it and understand it. And there's so much data here. Top 10 areas with home ownership rates for low-income households, for median households, and then what happens to the home value over time. Everything is here for you. It's all here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I talked to somebody the other day who does so much on Instagram, and they do like 15 to 20 to 30 seconds. And all this information, you've got like a month's worth of stuff just in the slides I'm showing you tonight. So anyway, I think, let's see, what else did I have for you? Let me hide this one. And I have one more thing. And I'm going to put all this. Okay, this is another one. Here, homeowners' wealth is 40 times higher than renters. Again, this is some of the same statistics, but they have put it just in a different format for you. So I am going to share all this in the group. And Kane is working on doing a download a link. So you just download the link, and it will send you all of our slides automatically. every time I do a show. So once you sign up to receive them, you'll get them in your inbox all the time. So we're working on that, and that should be before the end of the month. No pressure, Kane, no pressure, right? No pressure. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to go through. This is 5 slides. I'm not. Um, this is a lot of the same information that NAR did. As you can tell, they have the same formatted statistics, but whichever one you like, use it, hand it out, carry these things with you. And if you stop in a Starbucks or if you're shopping or whatever, and as I always tell people, wear your badge. Give people a reason to say, oh, are you in real estate? How's the market? Oh, remarkable. Let me give you some information. Anyway, it's not that difficult, but we got to climb out of our shell if we're going to be in sales. So I'm going to do one more thing, and that is to tell you that there's a class on Friday. Jimmy Daig is teaching an agency class, and he has a lot of the relevant information going on to share with you. And I have a lot of information to share with you about the trends. I bought the 2023 Trends manual that let's see if I have it here. I want to show you something else. I'll just show it to you really quickly. Oh, let me get it. Ta-da, here it is. This is a great, look at this, all this data. The biggest trend in here is telling you what you need to do to be successful in the next 10 years. And it's a lot to do with the buyer brokerage agreement, where buyer brokers agreement is so important, why it is, so on and so forth. Anyway, I don't want to get started because I have got to go pack. Okay, I want to show everybody something. I really appreciate when I get gifts from people, and you send me cards, and I put them in my office. I've got a whole shelf of things that y'all have given me. And Stacy Tyler, look, she gave me Bon Appetit, and it's a nice tote, and I'm going to take it to California. I'm going to put things in here, and I just love it. I'm a dog lover. I have my babies, so Be Happy and Rockstar, and can't wait to use it. And I know I'll get comments, right? When we stay in a hotel, people say, oh my gosh, how cute is that? Anyway, I know I'm rambling, and I got to get packed and get to bed so I can get up at 3 and drive to California. How wonderful is that? Okay. And our house sitter will be taking care of the babies. And hopefully I'll be back this weekend, safe and sound. I love you all. And I will post these things in the group real quick. And I will see you next week.